Oh, thank you.
Good. Thanks for doing this. If it's cool with you, we'll just go ahead and get right into some questions.
They tried to stay silent, but the truth exploded. After months of chaos, outrage, and undeniable proof, the WNBA has finally been forced to act. Behind closed doors, the league is now searching for new, stronger, and more qualified referees to restore fairness and safety to the game. Why now? Because fans watched in shock as brutal fouls went uncalled, players left bleeding, and whistles stayed silent, especially when it came to the league's brightest young star, HerCaitlin Clark. For too long, the court looked like chaos. For too long, injustice ruled.
As we've been doing all day and all day yesterday, we'll go for about 10 minutes or so. Do our best to get it to as many as possible. And let's go ahead and start with Sydney, please.
Hi, Caitlin.
Ruled the game. But now, everything may be changing. A new era is coming, where talent is protected, fairness returns, and the game finally gets the respect it deserves. This isn't just an update. This is a turning point for players and for millions of fans around the world. For months, HerCaitlin Clark became the face of something bigger than basketball, a symbol of a system breaking down in real time. Game after game, she walked onto the court knowing what was coming.
You previously said that there was no disappointment when you weren't selected for the 2024 Paris Olympics because it gave you something to work toward.
Hard hits, relentless pressure, obvious fouls, and yet silence. No whistle, no call, no protection. It got so ridiculous that getting to the free throw line felt almost impossible. Not because she wasn't being fouled, but because the calls simply weren't being made. And this wasn't just about points on the scoreboard. It changed the entire rhythm of the game. It shifted momentum. It sent a message. Fans tuned in expecting elite basketball. Instead, they watched.
Reflecting back on the past year and a half, and making your first senior camp, what does this moment mean for you, and why is this the right time for you?
Chaos unfold. Bodies colliding, clear contact ignored, and officials standing by as if nothing happened. The frustration wasn't quiet anymore. It wasn't whispers on social media. It became a roar, and that roar grew so loud, the league could no longer ignore it. A reckoning was inevitable. The truth didn't stay hidden for long. It exploded during a powerful interview on The Rachel Demita Show, when analyst Anna Aostable dropped a shocking update. She revealed that players across the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you can do a USA basketball-related camp, or obviously in my past, it's been all junior national teams, and, I've been cut from some of those, and I've played for 3 of them, so I think I've experienced both sides of it, and
They are now demanding real change, pushing hard for a complete overhaul of the officiating system. And this isn't just about one superstar like HerCaitlin Clark. It's about the integrity of the entire sport. Because behind the highlights and buzzer beaters, the product on the court was suffering. Fans could feel it. Casual viewers who came to watch HerCaitlin's electrifying game weren't going to stay if every match turned into chaos, with bad calls and unchecked aggression. The message was clear. Fix the system, or
this is the biggest honor you can possibly have, and playing basketball in our country is wearing USA across your chest. So, I'm just excited to be here and honored. Obviously, it's kind of like the start to the new Olympic cycle,
or lose the audience. Now, the pressure isn't just emotional, it's commercial. Sponsors are watching, fans are watching, the world is watching, and that pressure is forcing the league toward a long overdue transformation. This isn't new. The officiating problem in the WNBA goes far beyond HerCaitlin Clark's rookie season. For years, coaches have been losing their minds over blatantly poor calls. Legends like Cheryl Reeve, famous for fiery sideline blow-ups, have been sounding the alarm. Go back even further. to Candace.
Quite a few different things before we get to that point, but just excited to be here and be surrounded by a lot of really great players, some that, haven't played in Olympics before, and then others that have a medal or multiple medals. So I think it's been a fun group to be around.
Parker's rookie year, and you'll see the same story. Multiple brutal fouls ignored, no whistles, no protection. The truth is clear. This is not a new problem. It's a systemic issue, deeply rooted, festering for years. But the game has changed. Today, unprecedented attention is shining a spotlight that cannot be ignored. Fans, players, and the media are forcing the league to finally confront a crisis that's been swept under the rug for far too long. A reckoning isn't coming. It's here. The game has changed. And it's all because of HerCaitlin Clark. Her arrival brought millions of new eyes to the WNBA, where once the league brushed off concerns with, yeah, we're doing enough. Now every single move is under a microscope. Every questionable call, every missed foul, every moment of excessive physicality, fans see it all. Social media magnifies it all. Millions are watching, and that relentless pressure is impossible to ignore. The league can no longer turn a blind eye to decades of problems. Inaction now isn't just embarrassment, it's a threat. A threat to the exploding fan base, to the sport's growth, and to the credibility of the game itself. The stakes have never been higher. And finally, change is coming. The problem runs deeper than just missed calls or shaky referee decisions. According to insiders, the real issue lies within the system itself. You can't expect world-class officiating if the salary structure is weak, if the development and training of referees is subpar, and if there are no serious incentives to attract top talent. It's simple. You get what you pay for. For years, the WNBA has failed to properly invest in officiating, and the result? A perpetual cycle of inconsistency and poor performance that directly affects both the quality of the game and the safety of the players. This isn't just a problem, it's a fundamental flaw, and fixing it isn't optional. The league needs a complete, systemic overhaul, or risk everything they've built. In a glimmer of hope, a new committee has reportedly been formed, tasked specifically with tackling the league's officiating problems. Talks about this committee surfaced during recent competition meetings, signaling that the issue is finally on the official agenda. But don't celebrate just yet. History has shown that committees like this are often all talk, no action. Meetings happen, discussions are held, and yet meaningful change too often fails to materialize. The question now is simple but crucial. Will this initiative actually transform the game? Or will it fade into another empty promise, another bullet point on a corporate report, leaving fans frustrated and ignored? The pressure is mounting. The spotlight is on. Fans aren't asking anymore. They're demanding results. And the league can't afford to fail this time. Some people argue that the women's game is too physical. But let's be real, that's missing the point. Basketball is always physical. No one wants the women's game to become soft. But there's a line, a clear boundary where physicality threatens player safety and the integrity of the game. And that's where consistent, empowered officiating becomes non-negotiable. It's not about removing contact, it's about calling it right when aggression crosses into dangerous territory. Referees need the tools, the authority, and the consistency to protect athletes without diluting the sport. Here's what many overlook. The women's game is naturally different from the men's. Women play more on the floor, men play more above the rim. Grounded play. More contact. More contact, your higher risk. You can't defend a player on the floor the same way you might battle for a dunk above the rim. The consequences are serious. Take a look at the NBA under Adam Silver. Stars get special protection because their health is crucial to the league and the fans. Now look at the WNBA. Key players like Asia Wilson don't consistently get the same protection. The result? Star players are at risk, their contributions are undervalued, and the product of the league suffers. Remember the controversial moment when Alyssa Thomas stole the ball from Enfisa Collier? Some called it clean, but by the rule book it was a foul, unavoidable contact that injured Collier's ankle. Or consider the finals, where uncalled fouls caused serious injuries to star players. This isn't just bad refereeing, it's a direct hit to the league itself. Protecting these foundational players isn't favoritism, it's common sense, league survival, and respect for the game. This isn't just about fairness, it's about strategy, survival, and the future of the league. Protecting stars like HerCaitlin Clark isn't favoritism, it's common sense. Across professional sports, from basketball to football, officials give key players a degree of protection. Why? Because keeping the top talent on the court, healthy and competitive, is essential for fan engagement, marketability, and team success. The WNBA's failure to consistently do this has been a strategic misstep, hurting both athlete welfare and the league's commercial growth. Referees have one of the hardest jobs in sports: split-second decisions in real time. Complaints exist everywhere, but in the WNBA, the core issue isn't just missed calls. It's profound inconsistency and a failure to escalate punishment for dangerous plays, when obvious fouls go uncalled. When flagrant actions aren't penalized, the message is clear: dangerous behavior is allowed. This lack of consistent enforcement endangers players, encourages reckless aggression, damages the league's credibility and fairness. One glaring example: landing space fouls. When a defender collides with an offensive player in their landing zone after a shot, it's extremely dangerous. Injuries can be severe. And yet, these calls are frequently ignored or not upgraded to flagrant fouls, a fundamental error that raises serious questions about referee training, preparation, and accountability. The time for half measures is over. The WNBA cannot ignore these problems. Player safety and the league's future are on the line. When officials can't consistently make basic safety-critical calls, it exposes a serious disconnect in how rules are understood and applied. The result? Avoidable injuries and a game whose integrity is constantly under threat. Remember that notorious moment when Marina Mabrey checked HerCaitlin Clark to the floor? Mabrey is known for her aggressive style, some might even admire it, but the failure to call a foul in that moment was inexcusable. She should have been ejected. It was dangerous, blatant, and unpunished. And the message sent to fans and players? Arbitrary officiating rules, a system where even the league's most scrutinized star is left unprotected. Another shocking example: Kennedy Carter,